Yawmul Qiyamah, or the Day of Judgment, is described in the Qur'an and Hadith as a very terrible and heavy day. Man will not be safe from fear on the Day of Judgment. He will even run away from his father and mother, run away from his wife, children and brothers. Allah said, that is, the day when you run, turn back. There is no one for you to save you from the punishment of Allah. And whoever Allah leads astray, surely there is no one for him who will guide. Quran Surah Ghafir verse 33. Allah also said, observe the call of your Lord before coming from Allah a day that cannot be rejected, at the command of Allah. On that day you will not get shelter and you will not also be able to deny your sins. Quran Surah Ash-Shura verse 47. On that day those who disbelieved and those who disobeyed the apostle wanted them to be equal to the ground, and they could not hide from Allah anything that happened. Quran Surah An-Nisa verse 42. It is obligatory for Muslims to believe in events and the coming of the Day of Judgment. Even though this is a supernatural matter, believing that the Day of Judgment will come is part of the pillars of faith. Allah Ta'ala told the signs of the coming of the Day of Judgment to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. On that day, all deeds and deeds will be shown and accounted for. No one will be safe. However, among them there are those who are under the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They belong to the three groups of people who are free from fear on that day. In one hadith it is stated that there are three groups of people who will not experience fear on the Day of Judgment. From Ibn Umar radiallahuanhu, Rasulullah said, three people who will not experience fear on a very fearful day, and they will not be accounted for. They are on a heap of musk until the account is finished for all humans. 1. A person who reads the Quran solely for the pleasure of Allah, and he leads a people while they like him. 2. Die who invites prayer solely hopes for the pleasure of Allah Ta'ala. 3. One who maintains good relations between him and his master and between him and his subordinates. Narrated by Thabrani, Al-Mujam' Tsalatsah. Maulana Muhammad Zakaria al-Kandalawi in his book entitled Fadhila Amal explains, is there a Muslim who does not realize, does not even think about the greatness, sorrow, horror, disaster and distress of the Day of Judgment? If there is anything that can keep us calm from the disasters of the doomsday, then it is more valuable than thousands of pleasures and millions of pleasures. From Ibn Abbas, when the angel Gabriel informed the prophet that there would be a lot of slander, he asked, what is the way out of it, O Gabriel? Gabriel answered, the Book of Allah. Razin ar Ramatul Mudda. Scholars interpret that the purpose of slander here is the emergence of the Antichrist, the cruelty of the Tartars, and others. Prophet Yahya alayhi salam once said to the children of Israel, Allah has commanded you to read His word. And His likeness is like a people kept in their fortress. So that wherever the enemy attacks, you will find Allah's word as a guard and protector from them. The implied message from the hadith above is in line with what is mentioned in the hadith about the three groups of people who are free from fear on the Day of Judgment. One of them is a person who reads the Quran. So it is clear that the Quran is a source of safety and intercession, defense, for its readers on the Day of Judgment. Practicing the contents of the Quran will keep us away from slander, and the blessings of reading it can save someone from all slander. According to Maulana Zakaria, what a shame and loss for those who think that reciting the Quran is a waste of time and a waste of time. It is written in Mu'jam al-Kabir that the first narrator in the hadith above was Abdullah bin Umar radiallahuanhu, which he said, "If I don't hear this hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam one more time, one more time, one more time, one more time, repeated up to 7 times, then I will not narrate it. Wallahu alam bishwab."